hands to help fight crime in his community. Why he says his neighbors have been terrified as he steps up to protect them. Plus, new details on the GoFundMe started for the victim of Sunday's shooting in Newton. How much money has been raised so far for Asia Scott's family? And hear from survivors of the deadly shooting at Robb Elementary as the trial for former Uvalde CISD officer Adrian Gonzalez continues today. 12 News Daybreak starts right now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong. Tia has the morning off. It's 7:01 right now, so let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber as we take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network here above Orange. Jeff, how's it looking out there this morning?
Well, there's a few clouds out there this morning thanks to a front that's going to be pushing through later on today, but those clouds should clear out behind the front as we get into this late this afternoon. And right now it's pretty chilly. You'll need a jacket at least as you walk out the door. 43 in Port Arthur, then 44 in Kirbyville and Woodville. Orange at 48, 46 in Beaumont and Jasper, currently at about 45. And like I said, you can see some of those clouds out there well out ahead of the front that's going to be coming through later on today. This is the view from, of course, the Horseman's Western store as we look down I-10. Looks like it's pretty quiet there. And then we'll switch over to Packer La Prairie as we look at the Port of Beaumont. And you can see a little bit of sun as the sun's getting ready to come up on this Wednesday morning, showing temperatures in the 40s in downtown Beaumont. We'll see lower 50s by 9 a.m., lower 60s at noon, and then highs today will reach the upper 60s. Then here comes that front through the second half of the afternoon with gusty northwesterly winds at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. No rain with the front, but we definitely will see some cold temperatures tonight as we dip down into the 30s. More on that and our 7-day forecast coming up in weather.
All right, Jeff. Well, we are working to learn more about a house fire in Orange last night. Crews were called to this home on Childers Avenue around 7:45 where they found heavy flames and smoke. We're going to keep you updated once we confirm more details. And developing in Jasper County, a Buna man taking matters into his own hands to help fight crime. It comes after a string of burglaries and thefts which have left elderly and single women afraid to leave their homes. Frederick Aaron says that he has no background in law enforcement. He simply wants to protect those in his community. 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman, she has this story.
I'm at the Jasper County Sheriff's Office substation in Buna. Our residents tell me they're having trouble sleeping. They say they are spooked after a series of home burglaries.
We just tired of our elderly citizens and our senior citizens being terrorized in this community. Enough's enough.
Buna resident Frederick Aaron says he is sick of crime in his community after recent burglaries and thefts.
They kicking the door in. We had one guy, he pulled a hammer on somebody, knocked the lady down.
Jasper County Sheriff Chuck Havard agrees there is a problem.
So we've had some problems with theft and obviously methamphetamine. We've had a few burglaries.
A problem Aaron has taken into his own hands.
Well, I just started doing my own type of surveillance, and they're doing their activity, and I immediately called the authorities.
Sheriff Havard says with no police department in Buna, he's grateful for residents like Aaron.
Our coverage has increased, our visibility has increased. There's nobody who wants to keep the community safer than me, and so I appreciate his engagement, his involvement. And I really enjoy working with him.
Meanwhile, Aaron is hoping more men in the community will step up and join him in the fight against crime.
I want them to know I'm watching them. They got all the elderly community afraid to say or anything. Afraid I don't want nobody to do nothing to me. Or I don't want them to hurt it. No, I can take that heat.
Chef Havard has also suggested residents put up game cameras around their properties. And if he can't afford it, well, he's offered to give away some he has lying around. In Buna, Ebony Coleman, 12 News.
Well, Newton police still searching for the suspect accused of killing a woman and injuring 3 men in a shooting early Sunday morning. Asia Scott was killed on her 22nd birthday. Chief Will Jackson says she was from DeRidder, Louisiana, and the mother of a 1-year-old daughter. Chief Jackson says an argument escalated at a party and shots were fired. He says Scott was taken to Jasper Memorial Hospital where she died. He says police still looking for who's responsible here. Now a GoFundMe has been set up for Scott's family to help with funeral expenses, and so far it's raised almost $3,000. Anyone with information about the shooting encouraged to call police. In Jasper County, 2 home burglary cases that were cold are now moving forward after a DNA match. The sheriff's office says they happened near Buna in February of 2024. Investigators collected evidence, but the cases stalled. Then, last year, one of them took another look and noticed similarities between the cases. DNA testing later confirmed both involved Malcolm Foussier Jr., and he is already behind bars for other burglary cases. He's going to face new charges when he finishes his current sentence. Orange police say that they arrested a student for making a shooting threat at West Orange Stark Middle School. They say the student sent threatening messages and even tried to get a gun. School officials, they were notified. The child and his parents were located. The student, now in custody, facing charges. The district says everyone on campus was safe. An investigation continues in a series of car fires in one of Fort Worth neighborhood. It's now taken a twist. Prosecutors now charging the teenage suspect with terrorism. Adrian D'Alba has more on how investigators connected the case to a school threat.
Who did that? It's a case that has quickly escalated.
It's very convoluted and it's very complex.
What began as a string of vehicle arsons in South Fort Worth has now quickly grown into a terrorism case. Fort Worth police say a disturbing video shared online pushed the investigation in a new direction.
The video depicted an individual in a hockey mask making some threats of mass violence.
Investigators say that video was created by a foreign hate extremist group, but the footage pointed back to Fort Worth.
Threats of killing indiscriminately and some basic lack of regard for human life.
As police track that online activity, they say they connected the threats to real-world evidence. 5 vehicles set on fire near Reisinger Road.
The message is that Fort Worth Police Department takes these threats serious.
Police tracked down footage in that video of Crowley Middle School. They say 17-year-old Evan Banda recorded it and acted in support of that foreign group's extremist ideologies.
We're going to look into these threats, investigate them to their fullest, and take action when action is necessary.
Home surveillance video shows the moment SWAT teams pulled up to Banda's home where they arrested him. Neighbors telling us investigators hauled away piles of evidence.
I started to panic. I looked outside the window and I saw my brother's car in flames. And I started screaming, "Fire, fire!"
One fire destroyed the vehicle belonging to Lyal Audi's brother, who is disabled.
It's just a huge relief that at least the person has gotten caught.
Police say Banda now faces arson, terroristic threats, and terrorism charges. Meanwhile, the investigation continues. In Fort Worth, I'm Adriana D'Alba.
And now to the latest in the Uvalde trial. Yesterday, the jury heard from teachers who survived the Robb Elementary mass shooting and an officer who confronted the gunman after 77 minutes. 12 News reporter Derek Jones in studio with the latest. Derek?
Mark, several surviving teachers testified yesterday in the Adrian Gonzalez case. He's the former Uvalde ISD officer facing 29 charges related to his response or the lack thereof. Through tears, teachers who survived told their stories. In Zavala County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Joe Vasquez spoke of the chaos when he arrived at Robb Elementary, his child's school.
When you were part of the breach, why is it that you went in?
I was there. Nobody stopped me.
Wasn't it dangerous?
Yes.
Velma Duran, the sister of Irma Garcia, who was killed in the shooting, was overcome by emotion after difficult testimonies recounting the horror inside the hallway on May 24th. She reacted after cross-examination was over, saying her sister was there. One of the 6 witnesses yesterday included Texas Ranger Ricardo Guajardo, who interviewed Gonzalez yesterday about what happened after the shooting. That entire statement was played for the jury. You can watch the recap on 12 News Plus. Testimony will continue this morning at 9 a.m. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek, and to see our gavel-to-gavel coverage of this trial, head on over to our streaming app 12 News Plus, where you can watch it at any time. Download the app on your TV and watch it for free. Well, former President Bill Clinton could soon face contempt proceedings after refusing to testify before the House Oversight Committee yesterday. Clinton faced a subpoena from the Republican-led panel as they seek information about convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The Republican chair of the House Oversight Committee says they are planning to hold him in contempt of Congress.
As a result of Bill Clinton not showing up for his lawful subpoena, which again was voted on unanimously by the committee in a bipartisan manner, we will move next week in the House Oversight Committee markup to hold former President Clinton in contempt of Congress.
Hillary Clinton has a similar deposition scheduled for today, but her attorney says she won't show up either. The Clintons' lawyers are calling subpoenas from the committee invalid. Meanwhile, the Trump administration still has not released all of the Epstein files. Meanwhile, a critical meeting is expected to take place in Washington today over the future of Greenland. It comes after repeated calls from President Trump for the U.S. to take over the Danish territory. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with the latest.
At the White House today, the focus will be on Greenland, as Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio meet with leaders of the Danish territory who oppose President Trump's effort to take over the territory. Greenland's prime minister is saying his nation would rather remain part of Denmark. Trump responding.
I disagree with him. I don't know who he is, don't know anything about him, but that's going to be a big problem for him.
Many Greenland residents say they're worried about what comes next.
It causes a great deal of worry about the future. People are reporting difficulties to sleep. This is really filling the agenda and the discussions around the households.
T-shirts reading "Greenland is not for sale" now line the streets. Greenland is part of the NATO alliance, and a treaty allows the U.S. to expand its military presence there. But President Trump says the U.S. needs to take it over to improve security in the Arctic. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Well, still ahead here on 12 News Plus, a group of puppies saved by first responders with Narcan. Details on the near tragedy with a happy ending. Plus, a brave request for a date, and a teacher is surprised by his students. Your trending news is coming up.
Share your pics and video with 12 News. Just go to the Near Me tab inside the 12 News Now app and click Share with Us. To the spot welders and forklift drivers, to the pipeline technicians and plant operators, to the chemists, custodians, and contractors, and the engineers, pilots, and wellhead pumpers. To the people working day after day keeping our Power City rolling, 12 News is telling your stories.
Extended the temporary restraining order.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue, filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts direct from inside sources.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
Taking on the story from all sides and all angles with award-winning coverage.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Southeast Texas is a Power City, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards every month on 12 News.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now, weekdays noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back. We have a little bit of cloud cover out there this morning. Not going to stick around all day as a cold front's going to swing through here and kick out a lot of these clouds as we head towards late this afternoon. We are seeing the sun starting to come up as we look off towards the east from Beaumont here at Packard-LaPrée, looking at the port of Beaumont. Bright golden color as the sun's coming up there over the horizon. Our Roofing 911 live Skycam network currently showing 48 degrees in Beaumont, humidity at 80%, and we're seeing a southwesterly wind at 4 to 6 miles an hour. That'll eventually shift out of the north and west as we head towards later on this afternoon once that front goes through. It's chilly. You'll need the jacket, maybe a coat this morning as we dip down into the lower 40s in Port Arthur at 43. Officially in Beaumont, we're showing 46, 48 in Orange, 44 in Kirbyville, 44 in Woodville, and 45 right now in Jasper. Here's the front just now coming into northern parts of Texas. It'll continue to push southward pretty quickly, and say by early afternoon we'll start to see it knocking on our door and passing through. Notice not a lot of rain associated with this front. Most of it's going to be shifted off towards our east, so it should go through fairly dry for today. We're just going to see some gusty winds behind it and out of the north, and we'll see cold temperatures tonight back into the 30s. Had a few showers work through the lakes area this morning, very light rain, a few showers. Those are gone now and looks dry. Expecting a dry forecast for today. So here's our futurecast. Start off in the 40s, but by say 10 o'clock we'll already be into the lower to middle 50s, around 60, the lower 60s there at noon, and then upper 60s early afternoon before that front drives through, and then you can see those winds kicking out of the northwest. Skies are clearing out. By this evening we'll be in the 40s, and we'll fall through those early in the overnight and then eventually land into the 30s as we head towards tomorrow morning. So even colder tomorrow morning than this morning by maybe about 10 degrees in some spots. So variable clouds today. Most of the cloudiness will be this morning, and then later on late the afternoon that'll clear out of here. Northwesterly winds kick in at 15 to 25 with highs in the upper 60s here in the triangle. That's going to be early afternoon. And then as we head towards the late evening hours, we'll be seeing those 40s. So we'll see a nice drop behind the front. Mostly clear as we head towards tonight. 30s for lows. It's going to be cold. And then tomorrow cooler at 56. So we'll be anywhere from about 10 to 12 degrees cooler for a high on Thursday. Then we shoot back up to 69 on Friday with another front coming through. And then that pushes us back down into the 50s for the weekend. So outdoor plans this weekend don't look bad. Like I said, you might want a lightweight jacket for the weekend, or maybe a coat in the mornings, Saturday and Sunday if you're heading out early. It's going to be cold in the 30s. We'll also see 30s on Monday morning as well.
You know, something I often think about as it's been dry out there, Jeff, is fire risk as it comes and goes. You were saying something earlier, shouldn't be so bad this week because of humidity. Yeah, humidity is very, very low, which it's not right now. We have a little bit of moisture out there. And you also have gusty winds. That drives up the fire danger quite a bit. I know a lot of people who like to burn stuff, they like to keep track of that. Yeah, and if we get a little bit of moisture, that's a good time to burn when things are a little damp out there. We just don't see that over the next 7 days. Oh, I see. All right. Well, thank you, Jeff. You bet. And we've got a story here, a cute one, we should say. We're following this crazy story out of Washington this morning where firefighters who are used to saving people had to use their medical knowledge to save a half-dozen puppies. It's a story of a near tragedy that thankfully had a happy ending. Madison Wade has the details.
You wouldn't know it by looking at these puppies.
You were a feisty one.
That a little more than 24 hours ago, their lives were hanging on by a thread.
All unconscious, not moving at all, not making a peep.
On Sunday in Gold Bar, 2 people started banging on the Station 54 door to help 3 puppies that were unresponsive.
We figured that it was most likely due to some type of overdose.
The firefighters on scene immediately gave the little puppies Narcan nasal spray.
After about three doses, they all stayed awake and started jumping around and playing and having a good time in the firehouse.
All right, this guy right here, guys, this is Suboxone.
But the rescue was far from over. The sheriff's office responded to the home where the puppies came from and found 3 more needing immediate medical care.
We just had to keep giving them oxygen until that Narcan kicked in.
Sky Valley Fire has Narcan in every medical kit.
So we can either give this as a shot in an IV, or this little device will allow us to put it in the nasal passage.
That instinctual knowledge to use Narcan saved these puppies, who are all now in the care of the Everett Animal Shelter. And on Monday, the firefighters paid the puppies a visit.
Oh, it was awesome. They were so happy and playing and jumping around and playing with toys.
An incredible outcome for these small siblings, saved from a scary situation.
And that was Madison Wade reporting the puppies expected to be up for adoption once they're cleared medically. 7:20 right now. Time for some trending news here on 12 News Plus. A Utah Marine eagerly awaiting to see if he has a date to the Friday's Marine Corps Ball. Gunnery Sergeant Stephen Corson, he made a post on social media that went viral, inviting none other than country music star Ella Langley to go with him. His post has gotten 1.6 million views and more than 150,000 likes, with people even tagging Langley. He says it was mostly a joke, mostly.
I had to think about it a little bit because I didn't want to come off too bad, but I think it came out pretty funny. And that was the goal, to make somebody laugh.
Well, he is running out of time and hoping to get that RSVP soon. Good luck to you, Marine. And now to an amazing escape. Check this viral video out of a super smart dog fleeing an animal shelter in West Virginia after getting out of his kennel. Dawson made the break for it after the shelter closed and got to the front door only to find that front door locked. But, well, this clever K9, he wasn't going to let a little lock stand between him and freedom. He actually opened the lock with his teeth and busted out. But the furry fugitive didn't stay on the lam for long. He was found just a few days later. A cute little escape artist right there. And finally, a group of high school students surprised their teacher, moving him to tears. NBC's Tom Lamas has that story.
At Providence High School in Charlotte, North Carolina, Jeff Swicegood teaches his senior English class about Shakespeare.
What then? Why then 'tis hers my...
But even the bard can't compete with the dramatic surprise this group of students had in store for their beloved substitute teacher. A brand new pair of Vans, the shoes he wears every day.
Thank you. It just means a lot that people think of me. I just do what I love and love what I do, and they're the reason why I come every day.
Kalia Shack filmed the now viral video.
I think it touched so many people because a lot of people can resonate with the fact that they've had a teacher that has impacted them.
The video even catching the attention of Vans.
It's amazing what you guys did.
The company launching its own surprise, gifting the group of 12th graders a shopping spree. Including a gift card for their very own pair of sneakers.
And I are getting the matching red ones. Yes!
Reminding us all that celebrating each other always makes you feel head of the class.
We love you, Mr. Lawrence.
Cute story there. It's 7:23 right now here on 12 News Plus. Jeff Gerber's going to be right back with another look at your forecast.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Boma.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business. Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/Golden Apple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards every month on 12 News.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
We're working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m., keeping you informed on what matters most.
And keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back. It's chilly out there this morning. Temperatures down into the 40s right now. We'll see temperatures rise up into the lower 60s by late this morning around recess, and then mild and windy on the way home with temperatures in the upper 60s and just some partly cloudy skies. Along the coast today, a small craft advisory is in place throughout the day with a west wind at 15 to 20 knots, seas kicking up from about 2 to 3 feet. Should be rough conditions on the inland lakes and bays, so not the greatest day for the boat as the cold front comes through the area. High tide at about 3:20 this afternoon. That'll be the only one for the day. 7:12 was our sunrise. We're going to see our sunset tonight at 5:38. Right now at Texas Point, west winds at about 10 to 13. Water temperature sitting in the middle 60s.
Coming up on Daybreak here on 12 News Plus, a murder suspect still on the run more than 3 weeks after a deadly shooting at a Beaumont sports lounge. How police are asking for your help. Plus, hear from survivors of the deadly shooting at Robb Elementary as the trial for former Uvalde CISD officer Adrian Gonzalez continues today. And the rift is growing wider in Minneapolis. How pressure from the Trump administration has caused federal prosecutors to quit over the probe into Renee Good's shooting death. Your time is now 7:27, and we're going to have more news and weather in just a few minutes. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong. Your time's now 7:30, so let's go ahead and take a look at your top stories this morning. First up, in the latest on a church burglary in Woodville, the pastor of Victory in Jesus Church sent 12 News these new photos of the stolen van that they just got back. You can see marks down the sides and damage inside. Amber Mock on your screen there. She was arrested in Angelina County, accused of driving that van. She's facing burglary and drug charges. The pastor says the church was broken into and ransacked. They are still cleaning up. Well, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation announced the Long Long Health Spa on College Street in Beaumont has lost its license for life. The agency says the state revoked the license because the spa was operating a, quote, sexually oriented business instead of a legitimate massage establishment. Now, it was shut down in 2024 as part of a prostitution investigation. And testimony began yesterday in the trial of billionaire Walter Namola Jr., the Beaumont man accused of causing a 6-vehicle chain reaction crash back in 2022 that injured several people, including 2 children. He's facing 3 counts of aggravated assault, and he could get up to 20 years on each charge. All right, let's go ahead and take a live look now outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network here above Orange. Jeff Gerber standing by with the forecast.
And first thing you'll notice as you walk out the door, it is chilly this morning. Temperatures have dropped back down into the 40s, anywhere from 43 in Woodville and Jasper, also 43 in Port Arthur, to 46 in Kirbyville, 48 in Orange, and then 47 in Beaumont. Also seeing 40s over towards Houston, up to Huntsville, and 40s over towards the Quincy. Lake Charles, the only one on the map there, showing a temperature right now of about 50. Looking at downtown, you can see the sun rising on this Wednesday. We do have some cloud cover out ahead of a cold front that's going to be going through later on this afternoon. That front should clear out these clouds late this afternoon into this evening and bring us another round of even some colder weather. We're in the 40s this morning. Expect to see lows in the 30s by tomorrow morning. This afternoon, we'll get up to about 68 before the front actually goes through, and then those northwesterly winds kick in between about 5 to 15, and that will drive those temperatures, like I said, down into the 30s tonight, 50s for highs tomorrow. Kind of up and down weather as we go through the weekend as far as highs and lows. We'll look at that in just a little bit.
All right, Jeff. Crews spent last night battling a house fire on Childress Avenue in Orange. Firefighters, they were called there around 7:45 p.m. They arrived to find the flames and smoke coming from the home. The fire marshal and Orange Police, they were at the scene. Now, we are working to get an update as the investigation continues. Newton Police still searching for the suspect accused of killing a woman and injuring 3 men in a shooting early Sunday morning. Asia Scott was killed on her 22nd birthday. Chief Will Jackson says she was from DeRidder, Louisiana, and she's the mother of a 1-year-old daughter. The shooting happened in a neighborhood known as The Hill. Chief Jackson says an argument escalated at the party and shots were fired. He says Scott was taken to Jasper Memorial Hospital where she died. 3 men also taken to the hospital. 1 of them had to be airlifted to Beaumont. The chief says police are still working or still looking for who's responsible. And a GoFundMe has been set up for Scott's family to help with funeral expenses. It's raised almost $3,000 so far. We have details on our website. Anyone with information about this shooting encouraged to call police. And a 20-year-old murder suspect still on the run more than 3 weeks after a deadly shooting in Beaumont. 1 man was killed and another was hurt. Police are now asking for the community's help to find Dakota Chapman. They believe that he shot and killed 31-year-old Shane Thibodeau Jr. at the End Zone Sports Lounge back on December 21st. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato, she spoke to neighbors who are still shaken up, and they say that sports lounge has created problems in their neighborhood.
Yeah, and it's very dangerous.
For neighbors who live near End Zone Sports Lounge, the sound of gunshots is becoming all too familiar.
And more than the time that I heard like gunshot and guns, and I come outside, check it out, and when the police come in, everybody's going.
Gustavo Vega and his son Israel say the violence is too close to home. Israel says it has changed how he lives day to day.
Even if it's just like getting the mail or something simple, I usually feel pretty scared.
Police say a warrant has been issued for 20-year-old Dakota Chapman, who they believe is responsible for the shooting that killed 31-year-old Shane Thibodeau Jr. Investigators say they need help.
We need the community to come out and help because it's like he disappeared.
It happened back on December 21st when officers responded to shots fired at the lounge.
During the investigation, they learned that 2 victims were already at a local hospital. One of the victims ended up succumbing to his wounds. And the officers and detectives, they later found out that Dakota Chapman was a suspect in it, and he currently has a murder warrant.
Police believe Chapman has some help.
He can't do it on his own, so that means somebody's most likely out there helping him.
Residents say they just want something done.
We really know that he's just like running, hiding, or he's just like being protected because he knows what he's doing is dangerous.
That was Spencer Plato reporting. Beaumont police asking anyone with information to contact them or Crime Stoppers. Orange police say that they've arrested a student accused of making a shooting threat at West Orange Stark Middle School. They say the student sent threatening messages and even trying to get a gun. School officials were notified and that child and parents were located. The student now in custody facing charges. District leaders say everyone at the campus was safe. And now to the latest in the Uvalde trial. Yesterday, the jury heard from teachers who survived the Robb Elementary mass shooting and an officer who confronted the gunman after 77 minutes. 12 News reporter Derek Jones in studio with the latest on this case. Derek?
Mark, several surviving teachers testified yesterday in the Adrian Gonzalez case. He's the former Uvalde CIC officer facing 29 charges related to his response or the lack thereof. Through tears, teachers who survived told their stories, and Zavala County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Joe Vasquez spoke of the chaos when he arrived at Robb Elementary, his child's school.
When you were part of the breach, why is it that you went in?
I was there. Nobody stopped me.
Wasn't it dangerous?
Yes.
Velma Duran, the sister of Irma Garcia, who was killed in the shooting, was overcome by emotion after difficult testimonies recounting the horror inside the hallway on May 24th. She reacted after cross-examination was over, saying her sister was there. One of the 6 witnesses yesterday included Texas Ranger Ricardo Guajardo, who interviewed Gonzalez yesterday about what happened after the shooting. That entire statement was played for the jury. You can watch that recap on 12 News Plus. Testimony will continue this morning at 9 a.m. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek, and to see our gavel-to-gavel coverage of this trial, continue watching our streaming app 12 News Plus, where you can watch it at any time. Download the app on your TV and watch it for free. Well, the rift is growing wider in Minneapolis. A source familiar with the matter says that federal prosecutors in Minnesota have quit because of pressure from the Trump administration in the shooting death probe of Renee Good. Cheryl Hubbard with details.
The pushback in Minnesota is increasing. Not only is the now daily tug of war between federal law enforcement and the people on the ground physical, it's also ratcheting up legally. The day after DHS was slapped with a lawsuit accusing it of unlawfully commandeering state resources, members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus announced they will move to temporarily defund immigration enforcement operations.
We cannot and we should not continue to fund agencies that operate with impunity.
Also Tuesday, the first assistant U.S. attorney in Minneapolis and at least 5 other federal prosecutors resigned amid pressure from the Trump administration on how to handle the case of Renee Good, who was fatally shot by an ICE agent in the city last week.
When you see wholesale resignations like this, it's very concerning.
Since then, federal law enforcement sources say around 1,000 additional U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents are expected to deploy to Minneapolis. Undeterred, President Donald Trump announced Tuesday that the federal government will not make any payments to sanctuary cities or states starting February 1st. The lawsuit filed Monday by the state of Minnesota and the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul, accuses DHS of violating the 10th Amendment, interfering with Minnesota's authority to govern, and disregarding state law. I'm Cheryl Hubbard reporting.
Well, a grand jury in Mississippi has indicted a 19-year-old after he confessed to setting fire to the oldest synagogue in the state. Stephen Pittman facing a charge of first-degree arson of a place of worship with a hate crime enhancement. He's scheduled to return to court on January 20th. The Hinds County DA's office says it appears the fire was, quote, alleged to have been motivated by religious hatred. Pittman could face up to 6 decades in prison on state charges if convicted. And actor Kiefer Sutherland was arrested early Monday after Los Angeles police alleged that he assaulted a rideshare driver. He's also accused of making criminal threats toward the driver. He was arrested at the scene. Police say the driver did not have injuries requiring medical attention. Sutherland was released after spending the night in jail and posting a $50,000 bond. Sutherland is due back in court February 2nd. The actor, of course, known for his starring role as Agent Jack Bauer in the TV series 24, which earned him a Primetime Emmy and a Golden Globe. Also known for playing the president in the show Designated Survivor, and of course his roles from the 80s there in movies like Stand By Me and The Lost Boys. Well, a Good Samaritan stops his car and saves 2 toddlers from a busy Florida roadway. How it all unfolded coming up, and traveling freely between countries, shorter border lines, reconnecting with family roots. Why are more people seeking dual citizenship? We're going to break it all down next.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
Are you at the mercy of your bladder? If leaks are keeping you from living your best life, you should know that it doesn't have to be that way. Incontinence can be treated. Don't wait to get the help you deserve. The National Association for Continence is a nonprofit organization that's helped millions get on the path to a life without leaks. Visit nafc.org now to download your free pelvic floor muscle training kit and become the boss of your bladder.
It's chilly out there this morning. We have some cloud cover moving in out ahead of a cold front that's going to be pushing through a little bit later on for today. Looking down towards Port Arthur, this camera brought to you by Market Basket. See some sun out there for this morning on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network, but we're definitely looking at some mostly cloudy skies out there. And like I said, it's chilly. Temperatures right now generally in the 40s. Orange now up to 50, but we're showing 43 in Port Arthur, 48 in Beaumont, 46 Kirbyville, 43 in Woodville, also 43 in Jasper. As we take a look at satellite and radar, I've got the cold front on here, and it's just now coming into North Texas, but it's going to be pushing southward. You can see out ahead of it we have some cloud cover that we'll be dealing with through the first half of the day, but on the back side of this front, you notice how things are clearing out as that colder air comes in. So we're going to be seeing that late in the afternoon into this evening. Not much as far as any rain out ahead of this thing, so I don't really expect to see too much as far as any rain for today. The atmosphere is pretty dry, Once it comes through, we'll just have to deal with the cold air that it brings, and we're looking at temperatures in the 30s for later on tonight. Right now, radar is quiet, and we're expecting to be quiet as that front does come through. But 40s out there this morning. We'll get into the lower to middle 50s by 10 o'clock. By lunchtime, we'll be in the lower 60s and quickly shoot up there to around 67, 68 early afternoon. Then the front comes in, kicks in those winds out of the north and west. Temperatures start to fall. By late this evening, we'll be in the 40s, and then overnight, we'll drop back into those 30s as skies clear out. We'll go mostly clear skies heading into Thursday morning. So it's going to be definitely need a coat out there for tomorrow morning. Variable clouds today, northwesterly winds at 5 to 15, middle to upper 60s for the first half of the afternoon, and then overnight into tomorrow morning. It gets cold with those temperatures from middle to upper 30s around the triangle to some middle to lower 30s. Places like Kirbyville could be close to freezing tomorrow morning. 7-day forecast showing only 56 for a high on Thursday. Then once again, before a front moves through, we'll get warm on Friday at 69, and then we cool down again for the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. We'll see highs in the upper 50s and lows will be dropping back into the 30s. So it's going to be a cold one out there for not only Saturday and Sunday morning, but also Monday morning will be in the 30s and just barely in the 40s on Tuesday morning as highs remain in the upper 50s and lower 60s.
I'm going to go and call it gumbo weather. Are you more of a chicken and andouille sausage gumbo guy or seafood?
Yeah, just chicken and sausage.
That's the way it's supposed to be made. Good.
Or chili or I don't know, roast or something, just, you know, some home cooking.
That's right. Hey, I like a little seafood gumbo too. Thank you, Jeff. And traveling from country to country without restrictions, shorter lines at borders, or maybe reconnecting with family roots, all that and more is the dream of those seeking dual citizenship. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest.
For as long as migration has existed, many immigrants who naturalize in a new country have wanted to retain their citizenship of origin. In recent decades, the wealthy have also embraced dual citizenship as a way to expand global mobility.
What we've seen over the last probably 4 or 5 years especially is a significant increase in demand from more developed nations. So the US is the clear sort of leader in that regard.
Dominic Volek is group head of private clients for Henley & Partners, which assists high net worth individuals in attaining dual citizenship around the globe. Last year, they assisted clients of 91 nationalities, but Americans were top of the list. A November Gallup poll found that 1 in 5 Americans would like to emigrate, including 40% of women aged 15 to 44, a 400% increase on a similar poll taken in 2014.
We had a few, interesting political cycles, and so both sides of the political spectrum had concerns on the other and vice versa, and so they were looking to build in that optionality.
Professor Peter Spiro with Temple University says, in a way, gaining dual citizenship can serve as an insurance policy.
Even if you're never going to use it, just knowing that you've got that other passport in the drawer results in a kind of peace of mind.
And other than application fees, experts say there's little downside to obtaining dual citizenship, especially if it's through descent.
Most countries, there are very few obligations of citizenship that apply if you're living outside of the country.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
And speaking of passports, do you know what are the most powerful passports in the world? Well, the Henley Passport Index counts the number of countries that a traveler can enter without a visa, and it says Singapore is on the top. Its passports give the holder visa-free entrance to 197 countries. Japan and South Korea are tied for second, and 5 European countries share third place. The U.S. stands at 10th. Henley says that number has been on the decline due to strained relations abroad and uncertainty at home. Well, if you are planning your next getaway, you might be able to help. This morning, we are getting a closer look at the cheapest destinations of 2026. Global travel app Skyscanner analyzed average round-trip ticket prices to get the results. Las Vegas ranks first with the average airfare of $232. Wonder why they want you to go there so bad. That's followed by San Salvador, El Salvador, Miami, Florida, Kahului, Hawaii, and Orlando, Florida. The site says the cheapest time of the week to fly is Wednesday. And a Good Samaritan stopped his car to rescue not one, but 2 toddlers from a busy Florida roadway on Sunday. He was also able to reunite them with their family. As Gail Pascal Brown reports, the harrowing incident was all caught on dash cam video.
Look
at this. John Brittingham stops traffic with one hand and scoops up 2 toddlers along busy A1A Sunday in Brevard County.
I was terrified. If anything would have happened to him, my rest of my life would have been ruined.
John was driving home southbound on A1A when he noticed 2 little girls in the middle of the road.
So I immediately pulled over there, and I ran out of the car, and one of them was already to the middle of the road. And I grabbed that one first, and then the second one I just picked up. She was ready, and I got him off the road. Took like maybe 6 seconds.
It had to be the most terrifying 6 seconds of his life.
My adrenaline spiked. I had a migraine when I finally got home. I was drained completely for the rest of the day.
This exclusive dash cam video is from his vehicle's front and rear cameras.
You can see in the dash cam, she put her little arms up, and I was like, oh my God. How adorable.
He then went looking for their parents, found this Airbnb, knocked on the door, but no one answered.
So I went all around that house, and no one seemed to hear me yelling, like that I was calling for someone to see if anybody knew, because the girls weren't telling me anything. They were about maybe 2 years old or younger, and all they could do was point to things and say,
Finally, he looked in the back gate, which he says was open. He adds that's how the children got out, and their parents were clueless to the fact they were gone.
An elderly couple and a young girl, and I, immediately they went into like, oh my God, we're so sorry. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm just glad I could get them back to you. And they were out in the road, and your gate was open.
John did not call police.
My main concern was to reunite them, and by that time I was, glad that they were with their parents.
That was Gail Pascal Brown reporting. When asked, the Brevard County Sheriff's Office says no one reported this incident to them. And when Daybreak returns here on 12 News Plus, we have more news and weather in the morning rush out. Your time, 7:51. We'll be right back.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now. Weekdays, noon. Only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
To the spot welders and forklift drivers, to the pipeline technicians and plant operators, to the chemists, custodians, and contractors, and the engineers, pilots, and wellhead pumpers, to the people working day after day keeping our Power City rolling, 12 News is telling your stories.
Extended the temporary restraining order.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue, filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
Taking on the story from all sides and all angles with award-winning coverage.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business. Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On weather impact alert days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
Welcome back to Daybreak, 7:54 right now. Time for your morning rush out. Here's everything you need to know to start your day. A GoFundMe has been set up for Asia Scott's family to help with funeral expenses. The DeRitter mother was killed on her 22nd birthday Sunday in a deadly shooting in Newton. Police still looking for the suspects. Anyone with information encouraged to call police. The GoFundMe's raised almost $3,000 so far. And the latest on that church burglary in Woodville, the pastor of Victory in Jesus Church sending 12 News these new photos of the stolen van that they just got back, and you can see the damage inside and out. Amber Mock there on your screen arrested in Angelina County while driving that stolen van allegedly. She's facing burglary and drug charges. The pastor says the church was broken into and ransacked, and they are still cleaning up. And the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation announced the Long Long Health Spa on College Street in Beaumont has lost its license for life. The agency says the state revoked the license because the spa was operating a, quote, sexually oriented business instead of a legitimate massage establishment. It was shut down in 2024 as part of a prostitution investigation.
Morning jacket this morning, temperatures in the 40s, and then this afternoon we'll jump to the upper 60s, so you won't need too much of a jacket. Be ready though, he'll need to pull it back out again tomorrow. We have a cold front coming through today, and that will knock our temperatures back into the 30s tonight, 50s for highs tomorrow, and then as we get into Friday, another warm up, and for the weekend, another cool down. So bouncing back and forth, 60s, 50s, 60s, 50s.
All right, new this morning, for the first time in 24 years, Port Arthur Memorial has an all-state band representative. Junior flautist Jalen Scott was ranked first chair at the all-area auditions. It is the highest individual accolade a high school band or choir student can achieve, and he's now the first ever band student to achieve it in school history. He's going to represent Port Arthur ISD at All-State in San Antonio on February 14th. District also wanted to recognize band students Danny Wynn, Alexander Gian, Giselle Murillo, and Joe Ahuja, and Emily Diaz as well. Congratulations to all of them. That's a great accolade to achieve.
Yeah, I was in band in high school, and it's hard to win the first chair,
Yeah.
especially when you're talking about the statewide level. Yeah, it's difficult.
Very impressive. All right. Thanks for watching Daybreak here on 12 News Plus.
Have a great day, everybody.